My better people, for today's tutorial I go show una how to make this bubble dress wey una dey see for this video. If na wetin dey interested in, make we start.
It's K Fashion and Beauty. Welcome.
So the first thing, I don bring out my pattern drafting paper. So from the top side I go put my shoulder measurement, which na divided by 2. I get 7.5. Then I'll come down to get from the shoulder, I go come down to get my chest line, my shoulder to under bust, and my shoulder to half length, sorry. So for the chest line I go down by 8 inches. For my shoulder to under bust I use 13 inches, but this na base your own measurement, not my own. So I'll go ahead with my neckline. Neckline I just go by 3 by 3. Then I go ahead curve my armhole to meet the chest line. Next thing I go do now, to get my nipple to nipple measurement, which is 3.5, I'll go insert am from the center. You say I mark 3.5. Then I wan use this thing to get my side dart. So now for the under bust side I go outside by 1 inch on both side, half inch, sorry, on both side, half inch on both side, not 1. Then from that downside, from the half length I come down by 5 inches. You go know why I get that one. Let me just in our full blouse then, so now you go understand why I come down by 5 inches from the half length. So from the downside of that 5 inches I come up by 2 inches, come connect them to the darts to get the to the under bust dart. You see as I take slant am. So the next thing wey I do now is just put on my basic measurement. My bust I divide am by 4. I come add 1.5 inch allowance. For the waist side I divide am by 4, add 1.5 inch allowance. Now I come down by 1 inch from the half length, I come connect am. You see as I take curve am to that 5 inches to give am that V. If you notice say the waistline no dey straight, e form like V shape, which people dey call Basque waistline. So now for the neckline I come down by 6 inches from the shoulder, then I go in by 7 inches. The sorry, by 5 inches. So the reason for doing, because say this thing, remember say na like halter neck, dey tie am for back, no be normal round neck. So now I go just take that armhole, curve am come in by like 2 inches from my main shoulder point. You see as I take curve am, so that we go fit form that tie exactly like this. So I will just go ahead trim am a bit so that you see as I take dey. No basic measurement for that neckline, fit just based on how deep or how open you want me the front part be. So now to cut the back, I measure 1.5 inch for zip allowance. I measure 1.5 inch for, so now from that 1.5 inch I place the front pattern. I come bend am. Remember say the back e no get shoulder, so I go just from the armhole I go just draw straight line. Then the back too no get back waistline. The waistline no dey triangle, like e no form V for the back. So I go stop the back for the half length area. So now I go just go ahead connect this line. Na make I use the front pattern to just mark all this part. I wan connect am. Remember say this part wey dey this other side na the zip allowance. I go just write am make you see zip allowance. So I go place am to see whether I dey exactly. Now for that dart I go just go ahead use, either you fit use tracing wheel or you fit use marker or pin take trace am on top the paper, your back pattern, so that you go fit know where the dart dey. So I don go ahead trace am out with pin or tracing wheel. So you see say e go give me exactly wetin dey the front piece too. So I go go ahead cut everything out. Then I go notch my zip allowance area. You see say everything dey exactly the same. Now I go use this pattern piece take cut the front. So I add extra 10 inches to that up of that hand side, so that we go fit tie am for back. You fit make am based on how long you want make the rope dey, so that you go fit tie am if you wan form bow tie. So for the center piece I cut 4 pieces. For the side na 4 pieces too dey here. I go use 1 for lining. For the back too, you see as I take cut am. The back na 2 I cut am, I no cut am 4, because the back I no dey use the material as lining. I go cut separate lining for this one. So I cut out the dart part because I wan make e get joining. So all of them I remove the dart side. So now that one na the lining separately. So for the front, as you see as e take there, I will go ahead join all of them. You see the 2 side. So I don go ahead join am. I don go ahead join the lining to use the line take turn am. So I use the material as the lining because of the rope, so that if they tie am, e no go dey show different materials. Na make I use the same material take turn the front pattern, the front piece. So now for the back side, I don go ahead use the lining take turn each part of am. Remember say the back na 4 pieces, 2 for one side, two for the other side, because say e suppose be one, but because say I cut am, you can see say I cut the dart allowance out, that dart pattern out, sorry. So now we'll go ahead join close the dart. But before I close the dart, I wan add my lacing loop, because this dress e get lacing loop. So I go go ahead come down by 1 inch, so the space between each loop na 1 inch. From the upside, for the back, I come down by half inch, then from that half I come dey mark 1 1 inch reach the downside. So I go do the same thing too for the other back piece. Then after I don mark am, if make I take am closer so you go see am clearly. See as I take mark am, I give 1 1 inch space allowance. So I mark am so dat we go fit see am, but because of the chalk wise e no go dey clear for camera. So I go ahead cut my lace loop. I make like long bias tape. You fit use long bias tape or you fit use the material, just form long rope, turn am form long rope. So I will cut am 3 3 inches or 2 2 based on how big you want make your loop dey or how tiny you want make your loop dey. So I will place am. After I place am, I come go ahead join the dart area. So you see as e take dey. The next thing I go do na to close the zip allowance. Remember say I notch am. So the zip allowance, remember I use 1.5, but from the notching, by the time I turn am do everything, I dey get 1.3. So I will just go ahead take mark am. Then after I mark am, go ahead close am for my machine. After I close am, I go iron am open so dat you go see as e take dey. So see am, I don do everything. I don fix the side, close the dart, I don put my lacing loop, and I don close the zip allowance place. I don iron am. The next thing wey I go do now na to shape am. I go take the front piece. Remember say the front piece I use the same material, so I mark am so dat I go know which side I go use as back and which side be front. So for the shaping, I go ahead put my belt measurement and my waist measurement. If you wan snatch am, you fit minus something comot for your waist since e get lacing for back. Like if your waist na 30 inches, you fit do am 28 or 27. So I'll go ahead shape am, iron am, and this na wetin e look like after I don shape am. See the front part and see the back side, looking very neat and demure. So now I don go ahead shape am. The next thing we go move to na the gen part, the downside, the bubble dress. We don go ahead make the halter neck. So for the bubble dress now, I actually use three, sorry for the beginning I no talk, I use 3 yards of material of crepe. I use crepe for this dress. You fit use 2.5, but 3 to make am very, you know say you want your bubble part to dey very full. So for the bubble part, the waistline, I use my hip measurement come add like 10 inch to my hip measurement, which na 48 in total, so dat dey very, so dat I go fit gather am make e dey very full. So now for my full length, I minus my half length, which at the ending I come get 22. So na dat 22 I come mark from my waistline all round, from dat curve wey I take curve to get dat curve now na 48, making sure say in total you divide dat 48 by 4. I come make dat curve because I fold the material into 4. Now I go come go ahead cut everything out. I go cut the downside, then I go cut the waist part too. I'll come go ahead go iron because the material dey very rumpled where I keep am. So I'll go ahead iron am. Then I'll cut lining too for am. So you see as e take dey, as I open am, e dey very full, very long. So I get plenty work to gather. I gather a lot, but I no really put am on camera here. So for the lining, I cut the lining the same pattern, the same way, just be say the waist I use my normal waist measurement. I just add like 5 inch to am because I no gather am that much. Then for the downside too, the downside no dey too full like the main dress, because the lining, how we go do am be say the downside of the lining na I go gather am, not the waistline. The ending part, the downside, the hemline, I dey gather am for the lining, and I go do the same thing too for the material. So the hemline, that is the downside of the lining, e no get any precise gathering, but you know say e no go dey tight in a way wey you no go fit walk, you go gather am. The same thing too I go do for the downside of the main material, not the waistline, the hemline, the downside of the down length. I go go ahead gather am. Then after I gather these two, I will come do am right side facing each other. I will take the right side of the material, face one side of the lining, and I go turn am. I go just sew am together like this. So watch this very carefully. After I sew am together, you see as e take dey abi? Exactly like this. This no be the waistline, na the downside of the dress, not the waistline. The waistline I never touch that side yet. So after I gather and join am, e dey like this. So the next thing wey I go do now na to turn the sides, not the waistline, the side, so that I go no get rough edges. That is the side where zip go there, I go go ahead turn am. So the right side too facing the other side of the lining, I go turn am. But before I do that one, I go ahead come gather the waist side, making sure say na the same thing with my upper half length waist. I go go ahead measure from the zip allowance, I go measure am round the waistline of this of my half cut. I go measure everything round. So everything wey I get in total here na 36 inches, and I go make sure say I gather the bubble dress too, the waistline of the bubble dress to be exactly the same 36 inches, both the lining and the material piece. I will gather am to be exactly the same 36 inches. When I gather am together the same 36, I will come match am. After I don turn the sides, match am together exactly like this. So you go see as e take dey after I turn am. So see am, see the size wey I dey talk about, I don turn am so dat e no go get rough edges, na make I dey turn am. But you fit weave am, you fit leave am just weave am, but so dat e go dey easy na make I turn am. Now I go come go ahead join am together after I don gather am exactly the same way with my upper cut waistline. After I don join am, dis na the outcome. As you can see, dis dress is looking very very beautiful, and the thing come out just the way wey I want am to be. So if you get any questions or you wan add your own ideas, feel free for the comment section, and make una no forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, my people. I hope say una enjoy this video well well, and thank you guys so much for watching. So I don finish everything, but I no fix the zip for here, but I go later fix the zip, and I go do my rope for my lacing rope, so that e go dey easy to tie am. You can see, you see as this thing dey very neat and very very okay. So I go see una for my next video, and for the end of this video una go see the outcome of this dress. Una no forget to like and subscribe. Bye.